Chairman and CEO of Maui Land and Pineapple Company. We have so many distinguished guests here for taking the time to be here today. We certainly appreciate your attendance at this very historic event. Today marks the culmination of several years of hard work by everyone assembled. So please allow me a few minutes to share a brief chronology of how we got here. Back about 5 to 6 years ago, MLP's financial situation was quite challenging. We experienced a recession and a downturn in the real estate market, just as we had begun marketing the new Kapolua Bay Residences project. In addition, Maui Pineapple Company had suffered years of significant losses due to the change in business direction and pandering to fresh cash operations. As we contemplated our strategic options, bankruptcy was a real possibility if we didn't make drastic and dramatic changes. And one of the toughest decisions that our board made was to shut down Maui Pineapple. And in doing so, we were very well aware that continued losses would eventually lead to bankruptcy and the loss of continued pensions for our retirees and the hundreds of current employees. And as part of that transition, we worked with Darren Strand and Rudy Balala to lease our upcountry lands and facilities to the newly formed Lipoa Pineapple Company. Thank you, Rudy. We also worked on cutting our losses on the Kapolua Bay Residences project, and we had to dramatically change MLP's business model. And those corporate moves slowly began to pay benefits, but the company's pension plan remained severely underfunded. The Pension Benefits Guaranty Corporation, or PBGC, stepped in, and they insisted that we pay PBGC insurance premiums. We also had to pledge a substantial amount of our lands in April 2012 to protect the pension in the event of bankruptcy or a similar event. It was during this time that Mayor Aokawa and the members of the council began to explore creative ways to acquire and preserve the point. Alternatives such as park credits, allowing short-term rentals at Kapolua Mauka, and other ideas we discussed. So to Mayor Aokawa and the council members, thank you very much for your concern and your willingness to initially look for solutions to this huge problem. And then during the 2013 legislature, many groups came together to jointly pass House Bill 1424, which directed the Department of Land and Natural Resources to acquire the point. $20 million in general obligation bond financing was also included in the budget during that 2013 session. The legislation would not have passed if it were not for the work of Speaker Joe Suki, Representative Angus McKelvey, Senator Bill Keith Agaran, and Representative Justin Woodson. So we thank all of you for your determination and your efforts to get the bill passed, which then became Act 241. Our labor partners, the ILWU, were also key players in getting the bill passed. There are many representatives here today from the ILWU, Guy Fujimura, Steve Castro, Katie Escalera. I would also be remiss in not recognizing and mentioning Willie Kennison and Donna Domingo for their efforts as well. Thank you on behalf of the 1,000 ILWU retirees who will now be able to enjoy their retirement, knowing that their pensions are fully funded. Also instrumental during the session were representatives from the Hawaii Isle Land Trust, and we're happy to take them today. Once Act 241 was signed, our MLP team, led by Timmy Saki and Ryan Churchill, began to work with Russell Tsuji and the DLNR staff on the many issues involving surveys, environmental studies, and they had to coordinate among various state agencies. And after about 15 months of outstanding cooperation, which in the state government time was like, very short, between the various private and public entities, we are all gathered here to celebrate this win-win situation today. Because of your collective efforts, the state has acquired an iconic parcel of land that is rich with marine, cultural, and recreational resources. MLP's pension is now fully funded, and our 1,600 retirees have the financial security that they richly deserve after dedicating their lives for so many years. And lastly, Maui Gold Pineapple continues to be grown due to the efforts of the Hawaii Pineapple Company. So thanks to Rudy, the one person that was a driving force behind all of this within the state administration to ensure that everything was done was none other than Lieutenant Governor Jan Tsutsui. Thank him for leading the way, and also Ross Sukenjo, Chief of Staff for the Lieutenant Governor, for your hard work and diligence. At this time, I want to ask our Acting Governor, Jan Tsutsui.
Thank you, Warren, and good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
You know, this is a really special day for us here in Maui. And I know Warren mentioned a lot of individuals and organizations who played a key role in getting us to this point. But if you look around the room, each and every one of us here today, the reason that we are all here is because of our collective effort. It's really not about, and I would like to thank Warren for trying to recognize me, but it really wasn't just about, it wasn't about me, and it shouldn't be. Because this today is such a special day, not only for our community today, but for future generations to come. I mean, it's going to be remarkable. I think, you know, it may not get a whole lot of publicity or press, but these types of decisions are going to truly make Maui, and will continue to make Maui, really the best place in the world. And so I want to thank each and every one of you for not just being here in attendance today, because it is important, but for all of your hard work in getting us to this point. So how about a round of applause for each of you? But the one thing that I can do, apparently as acting governor, is that, you know, I have the opportunity and the privilege this morning of doing a proclamation. And as the mayor knows, when you do proclamations, being the chief executive, you know, nobody can stop me from doing it. And so it's one of the few things actually we can do without people trying to put a stop to us. So I would just like to take just a couple minutes to read the proclamation and sign it, because again, I believe this is a very special day, and I'm signing it on behalf of all of the residents of Maui County. It reads, whereas Lipoa Point, located north of Kapalua, West Maui, is one of the most iconic landmarks in Hawaii, and is part of an area known as the Ahupua'a for Honolulu. And whereas Lipoa Point is part of the Honolulu Mokuleia Life Conservation District, which provides breathtaking views of the rugged West Maui coastline. And whereas Lipoa Point and Honolulu Bay is a very special place with irreplaceable Hawaiian cultural sites, where the Hawaiian voyaging canoe Hokulea departed from her maiden voyage in 1976. It is also the site of many archaeological finds, including 2 heiau, boulders and grinding surfaces, house platforms, burial mounds, and archaeological terraces. And whereas Lipoa Point and Honolulu Bay have a rich marine ecosystem, having the highest fish assemblage characteristics of all Hawaiian islands. And whereas Lipoa Point and Honolulu Bay are popular recreation activities for snorkeling and surfing, attracting countless visitors, subsequently generating revenues for the state's top visitor industry. Whereas Lipoa Point's acquisition by the state removes the threat of development, preserving the land in perpetuity for generations to come, and make the way for the creation of a management plan. Now therefore, I, Shan S. Tsutsui, Acting Governor of the State of Hawaii, do hereby proclaim October 9, 2014 as Lipoa Point Day in Hawaii, and ask all the people of the Aloha State to join me in recognizing and participating in its observance, done at the State Capitol Executive Chambers on this 9th day of October. So thank you.
Thank you very much, Acting Governor. And now representing the ILWU, it's my pleasure to welcome Steve Castro.
Thank you, Warren. First of all, good morning and aloha to all of you this morning. Lieutenant Governor Shan Tsutsui, Honorable Speaker of the House Joseph Suki, Honorable Mayor Ellen Navarro, and Council Chair Gladys Paisa, Council members, and honored guests. It gives me great pleasure to be here today to witness this signing ceremony to secure the funding for the pension plan. This is a historical event that our retirees have been looking forward to. It will afford them financial security for all their dedicated years of service and hard work. On behalf of the ILWU, we sincerely thank each and every one of you who was involved in making this day possible. I would like to acknowledge also that our Vice President, Teddy Escalita, who was a former Maui Land Pineapple member, and our Secretary Treasurer, Guy Fujimura. Unfortunately, Donna Domingo, the President, could not be here today, nor Billy Kennison, the prior commitments. But I'd like to take this time to read just with indulgement, a letter from Senator Ross Baker. This is regarding the Lipoa Point signing ceremony. Along with Director Castro, it gives me great pleasure to be able to congratulate everyone who played a role in seeing the success of the acquisition of private lands situated at Honopohau and Honolua in West Maui, an area most commonly known as Lipoa Point. Although I cannot be there for the closing and signing ceremony of the State of Hawaii's purchase of these lands, please know that I will be thinking of all of you on this momentous occasion. The acquisition action which culminates today will ensure the protection and preservation of one of the most iconic landmarks in Hawaii, while securing pension benefits for 1,600 retirees of the former Maui Land Pineapple Company. This was all made possible with the passage of Act 241, which your Maui delegation and our colleagues at the legislature strongly supported. I was pleased to be one of its lead champions along with Representative Angus McKelvey. These lands hold important historical and archaeological sites and sits above the nationally recognized marine reserve. I am proud of the work that we have done to preserve these lands for our future generations to experience and enjoy the funding set aside by this act that goes to preservation of the pension benefits for many Maui Land and ILW retirees. Mahalo to all who work hard to bring this here today. Congratulations on this important accomplishment. It is because of your advocacy and support that we are able to see this come to fruition. Mahalo. Sincerely yours, Ross Baker, Senator.
Thank you very much, Steve. And now that the state has acquired Lipoa Point, they call on his first deputy in the Department of Land and Natural Resources, Jesse Suki, to share DLNR's thoughts about their new piece of land.
Hello, everyone. Good morning. I had the opportunity to actually go out to the site with staff to see what the state had acquired, and it's a beautiful coastal piece of property. And it reminded me of this quote by John Muir, who's one of the great American conservationists, who said that everybody needs beauty as well as bread, places to play in and pray in, where nature may heal and give strength to body and soul. And I think that this area captures that sentiment. I think that the public has invested well in this property for current and future generations. As someone from Maui and family in Maui, I'm very proud to be able to take my son there one day and enjoy that beautiful area. None of this, of course, couldn't have happened without the leadership of many of the people in this room, including the Lieutenant Governor, Maui Land and Pine, ILWU, the legislature, the council members, to make this all happen. It's a great accomplishment. So, what will the department do now that we acquired this property? The department will sustainably manage the area to ensure that the cultural, recreational, and historic elements of it are preserved in perpetuity for the people of Hawaii. And in doing that, we can't do it alone. The department, he was testified that we're always talking about how we need more money. It's my shout out for my staff. But we need to engage the community, of course, and people who are interested and have participated in this process, like here in the Coalition and other members of the community, the Hawaiian community has been talking to us as well. And so we're going to engage in a planning process and a framework to start talking about how we can better manage the property for those reasons. And we look forward to the support that we bring that forward. Thank you.
Last but not least, please, we want to conclude this great event by calling on our mayor and our college sheriff. Please join us in this.
I just want to take this opportunity to just thank everybody who's been involved in this process. It's been a very long, arduous process. Even though it may not seem like it, there's been many twists and turns in this. Many people have been tired since we started this process. So I'd like to just mention, Warren Suzuki and Ryan Churchill came to my office some time ago, and we were talking about what we can do. And it's a combination of how state and county has to work together to be able to get a lot of things going. Our state legislators, our lieutenant governor, our acting governor today, Sui, and Gladys Paisa, Mike Victorino, council members were very, very active in trying to decide how to do this. Early on, we had discussions about the county having to buy this piece of property. And we were contemplating what it would take, how we're going to do it, and what kind of property we're looking at in this area. Then Angus McKelvey and Ron Baker and the legislature stepped up and said, well, why don't we try and work this with the state and see what we can come up with? Because at the same time we're working on Lipoa Point, we're also looking on the other side of Lahaina and trying to develop other areas like Manipopo. And we're looking at trying to create a historic site in the center of Lahaina, the old area that used to be the center of the state capital of Hawaii. So there are a lot of projects that we're working on in this area simultaneously. And it takes partnerships to try and be able to figure out how we're going to be able to manage all the funding and be able to try and create what we want to do as a collective body. Because we're looking at what is the community going to have in the long run, and how are we going to be able to best have the community have the best and highest quality of life. We also know that there are many people from our land and Pine that were depending on trying to be able to balance out the retirement system. So all of these components come into play, and it took Ryan, we're trying to remember how many meetings, literally 20, 30 meetings in between, trying to be able to work out all of this. So I know a lot of people put in a lot of time and energy into trying to create what we have today in the acquisition of the Point. And that's just the beginning of trying to be able to conserve that property and to be able to build something that's going to be able to last a long time. It's taken a lot of energy, but we know the one thing we don't want to do is we don't want to have all of the coastline been filled with houses where we can't see anything and we can't do anything. So this has been a very, very long trek. We know that there was a property owner that wanted to, a prospective property owner that wanted to buy the Point and put a house on it. And there was a lot of movement to not allow that. So we thank Command Line for not going through with that deal and allowing this to finally come to fruition. There are going to be a lot more challenges that we have to work with. And I think the partnerships that we're able to learn out of this and the way that everybody came together is even more noteworthy than the acquisition itself. The ability for the state and the county to work together, the ability for the union and the individual companies like Marlin and Pine to work together, DLNR to work with us. That's really where we're seeing a very, very strong growth of connectivity. So I just want to thank everybody for coming together, working this. It's been a very, very long track. And I know that everyone is very happy to see this final outcome. And here on Maui, when we have to worry about the health and welfare of a lot of the retirees from our land and Pine and the other big agencies that we've had, it's really a blessing for us to see this culminate in a way that will become beneficial for those employees as well. Thank you very much to everyone that's put in so much time and energy into this effort. We thank you. Thank you. Our next generation will thank you. The generation after that will thank you. And literally, for time immemorial, we will have this point preserved. This is we have Lani Popo preserved. This is we have Mehami preserved. this is, we will have, we'll create all these areas. We'll be there for the community for a long time. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mayor. That concludes today's program, and I want to once again thank all of you for taking the time to be here. And this